I'm Caden Love.
And I'm Seema Love, his wife.
And we are Love and Lore, taking dark fantasy, light fantasy, and everything in between. And today, we are going to be talking about one of the most anticipated things for me this whole year, and that is the Mistborn Deckbuilder.
We actually already played it, and we loved it. We also have a board game professional in our family, and he gave this a huge stamp of approval, so we're really excited to show you how to play this and share our thoughts. This game is moderately hard to play. I don't like hard games, but I still enjoyed it and I was able to learn it, so don't be scared.
This is from Brotherwise Games, the company that has done amazing games such as Boss Monster and Call to Adventure, especially the Stormlight Archive Call to Adventure, and they are the ones that are doing the Cosmere RPG, which we are so excited to play when we get it later this next year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Another really cool thing is that Katie Payne, one of Sanderson's best artists, did the art directing for this, and the artwork in this game is a reason enough alone to buy it. It is beautiful, and I love seeing certain characters portrayed, a lot of Kelsier's crew, and I'm going to be playing as Kelsier today. Seema's going to be Vin, and these are two of your 4 main character choices, including Marsh and Shan. And while we are talking about all these things, we do suggest referring to the rulebook for the most official parts of all the rules, because we are not perfect, and there are certain things that we might not cover in this video. So when you begin the game, you want to start the starting player with 36 health, the next player add 2, the next one add 2 to that, meaning the third player would start with 40, and if you have 4 players, the last player will also start out with 40, the max health in the game. You cannot go above this, and 1 additional boxing. So getting started, this is a Mistborn deck builder. What is a deck builder? A lot of people might get confused thinking that this is something like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, or another trading card game. No, this is a game all contained within itself, and what the basis of a deck builder is that you start with a deck of 10 cards. Throughout the game, you're going to be purchasing from these cards in the market. Every time a card is purchased, it will refill there. And you're going to be adding it to your deck. So you'll play a hand of 5 cards, then whenever you purchase a card, it is going to go in your discard pile. At the end of my turn, I'm going to draw 5 more cards, and eventually I'll reach the point where I can draw no more cards. And later in this game, it might happen where I can draw 2 cards, but I have no more to draw. What I simply do is, I highly recommend sleeving your cards if you have a deck builder, because you can just shuffle them like this without having to bend them, do anything like that. And if you're a board gamer, you probably already know this. But you'll go and shuffle the discards. Now you have the cards that you've purchased in there. You'll draw up for your next hand. So that's why this is called a deck builder. Throughout this game, your deck is going to be growing in size with better cards, and there are also other things out there to eliminate your starting cards to make it so that you have the best deck possible. So when we are starting this game, the biggest things you need to know is, how do you win this? For 2 players, you just go back and forth until no one has any health, and the victor is the one who is alive still. Other than that, you can also go and try to beat one of these 3 objectives. These locations that we have chosen in this game are Pits of Hathsin, Creedic Shaw, and the Luthadel Rooftops. As you advance up these, you get rewards. If you're the first player to complete all 3 of those, you also win. If you are the first character to reach a certain point first, you can actually get an additional benefit compared to the others, as well as if you are the first player to finish the track, though there is a continual reward or a big reward when you complete the track.
Actually, about that, when we played this first time, everyone on our table was so focused on surviving and killing other Mistborns that we actually missed out on the possibility to win for these locations, so do not discard that. That is a really good way to win.
So the ways to win are defeating other Mistborns, completing those, or there's another card in here that does have an end game trigger that you might be lucky enough to do if you focus on. And if you are playing with 3 or 4 players, the max player count, you will also use this little target. Rather than just choosing whoever you want to attack, you will have the last player take the target. If I attack Seema, she then gets to choose who the target goes to. And this kind of passes around so that you can work as a team with your other players. If someone is nearing victory, and you can focus on that.
One of the questions we had when we played is, if the target is on you, can you not attack anyone? Well, actually, if the target is on you, you can attack anyone. So there is a little plus of having a target on yourself.
Another thing we need to draw attention to is the medal track. A way that we can talk about this is by talking about your starting deck. Your starting deck features 6 funding cards, and those include coins that expire at the end of your turn, but you use those to purchase these cards up here throughout the game. The other ones are your certain medal trainings. The way that you play this game is you focus on the progress track, noting how many medals you can burn, as well as certain numbers that correlate to your character's special abilities. At the beginning of the game, you can only burn 1 medal per turn unless you flare, which means you flip the medal over and you cannot use that again until you refresh it. So let's take a step back. How do you burn medals? You'll look at certain cards like Copper Training, for example. It has the medal I need to burn to activate the ability. For Copper, if I burn this, I get the 2 little sword symbol, which is 2 damage, 1 coin that I can use during this turn, and to use that, I simply put my medal coin on that. Let's say this is my first turn. I also had Zinc Training and Steel Training. If this is my first turn, I can only use one of these because I can only burn 1 medal unless I decide to flare. So I would get that, the other 2 would be discarded. Though this might seem a little difficult, as you go on throughout the game, you'll notice certain metal pairings that work well with each other, such as pewter and tin, bronze and copper, zinc and brass, iron and steel. If you are not very familiar with Mistborn, that is perfectly okay. On your track, you can see that they pair up in color pairings. So as I go on throughout the game, I might want to get more brass cards that go well with my zinc cards, because you'll note that on the side of the cards, there is a little metal vial that you can actually turn sideways, pairing it with a card like this to use that instead of burning one of your coins. So if I had Charm, an awesome card with our friend Breeze on there, I could actually turn this sideways to spend it for my Zinc Training. Another benefit of doing this sideways usage is that this one will also give me 2 coins when doing that. Alright, now that we have our cards out, we might want to talk about the symbols that you'll see in this game. There are plenty out there, and we're just going to go over the basics. A little brown square with a number on it is how many you're going to advance on one of these progress trackers. The green plus is adding health, while the red crossed knives are going to be how much damage you do to another player. And then, of course, we have the boxing coins. Do not get this confused with grabbing these. These are the coins that you buy by spending 2, just as a reminder that you have this for your next turn. One thing you might want to note is that while most of the cards are pretty similar, we do have these sideways ally cards, some of them with some great characters you might recognize, like clubs right here. Ally cards have a certain amount of health, and they will stay out there until they are killed by another player. If Seema has an ally out, I can either target her or her ally, unless her ally has a defender ability, meaning I have to go for them first.
If your allies are killed, you do not eliminate them. You just put them in your discard pile, and then after you need to reshuffle it, you will be able to draw them up again.
Another thing you might want to note is that there is an eliminate card ability. This means that you remove a card from the cards that you've played this turn or your discard pile and throw it out of the game, essentially. This is condensing your deck to the best cards, and you can go and put that on the side and clean those up later at the end of the game. Let's talk about Atium. There are 2 little coins that come in this game, one of those being Atium. If you know anything about Mistborn, you know that this is the most powerful metal. And as you progress on your progress tracker, you will eventually gain Atium tokens. These have to be used within your metal burning count that your board keeps you to, but these can be used as any metal, and there are certain cards, some of them that suggest things like shards in the Cosmere, that you need to use Atium for. These are very powerful cards, and that is why you must use these for those.
Okay, and now that we've told you how to play in so many details, let's simplify and come back to basics. I'm gonna summarize to you what you're gonna do in your turn. First, you move on the progress track. You draw up 5 cards. You choose which metals to burn and get the according rewards. Then you count up all the money you've got on this turn and you can buy as many cards as you want. After you buy them, you put them in a discard pile along with all the other cards that you pulled out this turn. Don't forget to focus on how to win the game, which is to survive, to reach the top on all 3 locations, or buy and use the confrontation card. Okay, let's do a couple of turns together so that we can get a hang of it. First thing we do, move on the progress track. Draw 5 cards. I drew up the 5 cards for my turn and I got lucky. I got 4 funding and only 1 medal, which is good for me because we can only burn 1 medal at this point. I'm going to burn brass, which is going to give me 1 progress on the location. And I'm going to choose the Luthor rooftops so that I can keep moving here. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins. And I'm gonna buy this card. I will waste 1 coin, but it's okay because I really want this card. Okay, I did everything, so I put the new card and all the cards that I played into the discard pile.
And I'll go up 1 there, and I have exactly the same turn that you did. So I'm going to burn zinc. I will go up right there on Creedic Shaw. I'm gonna take crash. Refill that, and there's only 2 there. All right, and now I can't draw any more cards, so I'm gonna reshuffle my discard pile.
While I do that, I'm gonna draw my turn. I didn't get as lucky now because I drew a bunch of metals which I can't burn, so I'll have to choose. I really want to focus on moving up here, so I'll choose to burn bronze. I could flare one of these, but I choose not to. I'll move up 2. 1, 2. And this turn I only have 2 coins because I did not burn these, so I do not get these rewards. I'm gonna buy this one and end my turn.
So I will go up. Now I can burn 2 metals. I'm gonna go there and I'm going to burn zinc. So I get to go up 3. So I'm gonna go up here. 1, 2, 3. I receive my reward to draw 1 card. I was also the first player to do it, so I get to draw 2 more. And I've got 2 more funding, so I am not going to end up using this, so I'll have it there. And I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I definitely want Steel Push because I want to go up on my Mistborn track. So I have 2 more, and I might as well go with Soar. I am already off to a good start with my push and pull. Very thematic to my man Kelsier.
Now that we told you how to play the game, what is our opinion of this game? Well, we both loved it. Even me, who doesn't like learning hard games, it was a little bit challenging at first to understand, but after I started playing it, I just loved it, loved the flow, the idea, and everything.
My review is, if you like Mistborn, you need to buy this. If you like board games, you need to buy this. If you're a human, you need to buy this. Like, it is so much fun. I really want to thank Brotherwise Games for making such an awesome game, and we are so excited to see what else they do this year. The art in this is amazing, and I am a big fan of deck builders, and I think that this just takes a step above any other deck builder that I've played. The combinations that you can make in this are so great, and it stays so well on the theme that if you are a Mistborn fan, you are going to adore this game.
We hope you like this game as much as we did, and thank you for watching.